egg mud. Basic eggless sponge cake is what we are going to see today. This is going to be eggless and yet a very spongy and a soft cake. Once this cake is done, and then you can go ahead with a lot of kind of cakes, decoration, fresh cream cake, buttercream cake, or chocolate icing on top of this cake. So we are going to look into the basic eggless sponge cake. 150 grams of maida or all-purpose flour, 75 grams of corn flour, 40 grams of potato starch, 40 grams of curd or 3 tablespoons of curd, 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of butter, 75 grams of oil, 150 grams of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, quarter teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half teaspoon of baking soda, 200 ml of milk and 2 tablespoons of condensed milk. We are going to start our cake preparation. First, preheat your ovens at 180 degrees centigrade or 360 degree Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. Then we are going to prepare our baking tin or baking dish, whatever shape or size you like. I am using an 8-inch dia baking dish. I am just grazing it with butter. Just look at this. We have not left any part of the baking dish. We completely greased it with butter. Now let's do the dusting. Use the flour liberally. We can remove the excess flour after the completion of dusting. Our dusting is complete. Now remove the excess flour. First let's add oil and butter together. The butter should be in room temperature. If not, just slightly melt it. I am using a hand mixer here. It depends. You can use a hand mixer, stand mixer or a whipper blade. Because we are not using any eggs here, so we need not really beat them very forcefully to make a fluffy froth. So this will just have to blend together. You can use a normal whipper blade also. Now let's add sugar. Now add yogurt or curd. Now look, we are having a beautiful creamy texture here. Now let's add the condensed milk to this. 2 tablespoons of condensed milk. Now slowly add milk to this. I am retaining half of the milk. Let's look into the texture, and if required we will add this. If not required, let us not add it. Look at our mixture. It's very creamy and looking beautiful. Now let's go ahead with doing the flours. Let's put all the dry ingredients in this vessel and mix it well. Maida or all-purpose flour, corn flour, potato starch. If you are not able to get this, you can use the corn flour or corn starch instead of this. Baking powder, baking soda and salt. We have mixed all the dry ingredients well. Now let's run this through a sieve. It's always better to run through the sieve because we will be folding in a lot of air, so you get a nice spongy fluffy cake. Now we need not use the beater anymore. We can just fold the flour into this batter. Just mix this well nicely with your wooden ladle. Now we can add some more milk because it's very thick. Now add essence. Look at the texture. I have got 2 tablespoons of milk which is left over. Just leave it out. Now our baking tray is already ready. So we are going to put the flour into cake batter into this. Just tap to your tables to remove if any air bubbles are there into the batter. Now our baking dish is ready. We are going to leave this into the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. After 35 minutes, let us prick it with a knife or a fork and see whether it is done. If your fork is going to come out wet, then that means it needs some more time, maybe 5 or 10 minutes more. But look into the temperatures and adjust accordingly. It will require 35 to 40 minutes. Now let's look into this. It's 40 minutes after 35 minutes I checked. It didn't come out clean. So now it's 40 minutes. Look at the So now let's look at this cake. We have a beautifully risen, lovely, yummy looking cake. You can just look into the video. We had poured only half or this much of batter and it has risen double the size. So imagine it will be very soft. Just let it cool like this on a wire rack along with the dish for 20 minutes and then we can remove it. Now look, it's 20 minutes and the cake has cooled down nicely. So let's remove it from the vessel by just running the knife along the sides and then we will be removing it. Okay, see, it's very spongy and fluffy. We have a wonderful cake with us. Just let me cut this and show how porous it's inside so that you will know it will be very soft. So dear friends, hope you enjoyed this session of making this eggless basic sponge cake. Now go ahead, do your wonderful decorations on top of it. For doing a fresh cream frosting, click here. If you like this video, press like, subscribe to Dosa Pizza, and for your printable recipes, www.dosatopizza.com. Thank you and bye bye. Dosa Pizza, always enhancing your taste buds.